Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to one of my favorite videos I like to do, supermarket tours. And I'm out in Moscow region today, and I thought I'd show you the most popular, most typical, and most well-known supermarket in all of Russia. And it's right behind me. Let's go in and check it out. The shop we want to go to is called Pyaterochka. And this is by a long way the most famous and well-known supermarket in all of Russia. There is a Pyaterochka in every town in Russia, just about, and they have more than 20,000 locations throughout the whole country. Now this particular one that I've come to here is in the lower ground floor of this apartment building. And this is actually an interesting Pyaterochka, because it also has a pharmacy inside as well, which is very rare for this chain of supermarkets. So I think we need to go on inside. There is actually plenty of housing nearby. They're building new apartments across the road, and pretty much everyone who lives in this district comes shopping here for sure. If you're wondering where I am in Moscow region, I'm in a town called Skolkovo. And I actually came to this area to do some other filming, and I was just popping in to get myself a snack and a drink, and I thought I had to come and show you the most famous supermarket in all of Russia, and I hope it's a good explanation of where Russians go shopping, because there isn't a single person in this country who hasn't been to a Pyaterochka at least once, perhaps in the last 7 days, or once in their life for sure. This particular store is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. and that's very much the normal, typical opening hours for most Pyaterochkas. We come on inside and they've got a few baskets. Now this particular one is quite big, so it might be interesting to see a larger format Pyaterochka. They're now doing their own postal service, very similar to what Amazon does with these boxes. And it's called 5-post. Pyaterochka's symbol is the number 5, and that's pretty much the most famous number, I think, on any shop in Russia. So coming on inside is probably not as typical as other supermarkets around the world. You walk on inside and you see a beer fridge. You've got chilled drinks, so both alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks. And then you come on into their first special. Now my only gripe, and I'll say this in every video, is they need to put pricing on the products. And the first thing I'm walking into, I don't see the price. Over here on the water, they've got everything priced up properly for this bulk water. And if I want to buy some oil, what's the price of it? Somebody let me know. Now I'm going to do a nice walk around and show you perhaps what is typical, maybe where you live in the world. This is not typical. So I want you to let me know in the comments. Bananas are a little bit high priced right now. However, very nice green and ripe bananas right there. Now, depending on the season, the price goes up and down a lot on bananas. Now, this particular video is more about showing you what the most typical supermarket in Russia has. So the first thing they've got is pretty much all the normal everyday fruits and vegetables. Did notice also they've got kiwis back there as well. There's also some mangoes and all of the very normal fruits. And this store is considerably larger than most normal Pyaterochkas. So there'll be lots of extra things. Like, I don't even think I've ever seen a birthday card stand in any of the stores I've been to. They are trying to do a little bit more healthy things. Now, I will have a video coming up about this particular topic, about healthy food options in supermarkets. And this is their fridge. I think they would have built this very recently, because this has only come in recently to this chain of stores where you can get ready food and things like soups, sandwiches, and some meats and drinks, and whole healthy alternatives to normal food. They do have their own small in-store cafe. You actually help yourself, choose your drink, do your cup, everything like that. Cup of coffee less than $1, depending on the size that you want. And then there's also a microwave here, so if you do want to buy ready meals, you can microwave them and eat them on the go. I think they do have a small in-house bakery here as well, so all the things that you see on these first 3 bays are things that are par-baked. In the back you'll see the chilled fridges back there, and then the oven. Now they don't always put too many things out, that's very normal, because they just want to make it, sell it, and then replenish it. And then also the normal packaged bread that they'll get from off-site bakeries. Plenty of choices. Now again, I don't want to make this video about pricing, but if you're curious and you want to pause any part of the video, pretty much exactly 100 rubles is $1 US. And if you need bread in Russia, there is nothing over $1, or most bread is 50 cents or so. Now continuing on with the fruits and vegetables, we've got most of the packaged stuff here on the right, plenty of choices of apples, and then they do get things in bulk and then they pack it out, all of the vegetables. One question I have for everybody, and I know this is not a thing in Australia, is the unwashed vegetables. Things like potatoes and carrots. They don't look clean on the shelf, but you get them at a lower price. And where you live, do they have unwashed vegetables for sale in your local typical supermarket? If you're wondering about myself and the channel, I'm an Australian who lives here in Moscow region, and my background is in retail. And all my life, since I left school, I've worked in supermarkets, shops, and retail businesses, doing merchandising, management, and the channel was built around me doing supermarket tours. And anytime I get a chance to do one, I'm going to put one up on the channel. So I hope you enjoy this. And there is a huge playlist of other supermarket tours that you can check out, and I hope you enjoy them. Walking around, I'll try and show you as much as I can. These videos do tend to get a little bit long, and this is the format that I've chosen to do on the channel. So if you're wanting these short 5-minute or 10-minute videos, this probably isn't the channel for you. I like to show as much detail as I can and explain as many things as I can in the video. Lots of canned meats right here. And I was just having a look. I need to get some tuna to make a salad later. So I'm gonna have to find one of these tunas. I always buy the wrong one that's got a different oil. And there's quite a lot of choices of fish and tunas as well. And this is the extent of canned food in Russia. It's peas, corn, and then things like olives and fish. And that's it. And everything else is different packaged. There is a big bay here with different cakes. Very interesting, they've got cakes and then they've got sausages on the top shelf. They're not probably keeping quite to the planograms of the store. And there's sometimes a challenge with where things will go. Endless choices of sausages and different salamis and hams, and all at very reasonable prices. Anytime you see a yellow sign, that's normally some kind of a special. And then the white ticketed items are the everyday prices. Again, they've got a big bulk display of toilet roll. Where is the sign? Now, I love this chain of stores, and probably the most popular video on this whole channel is from a Pyaterochka, because where I live, I've got 5 of them within walking distance of my house. And I thought, this is what I'll do when I come to Russia. I'll make shop and retail videos. I think everybody knows kids' diapers or nappies. And then you come to the mayonnaise, and then different butters, condensed milk, and then we've got all the different cheeses. There's also cottage cheese here as well, and different spreadable items. And then, even though this is a smaller chain of supermarkets, Pyaterochkas aren't hypermarket size. They're normal, traditional supermarkets. They still have a very nice big selection of products. All of the long life milk. Lots of choices again, all these different flavored milks. I know my wife loves this coconut milk. I'm not a fan at all. So it's everybody's choice. And we've got yogurts over here. And all the drinkable yogurts. And they've tucked in a beer fridge in the corner, which seems a little bit out of place. Plenty of yogurts. Where is my strawberry one? Just here. 65 rubles. If you don't want a juice or fizzy drink, I love that strawberry yogurt. And then traditional bottles of milk. You're paying just about $1 for milk. Actually, this is all kefir, but still, it's still cheap. And there's sour cream if you're going to make your soups. And then this is the normal bottles of milk. So you got 80 cents for a traditional bottle of milk. Some of the house brands are a little bit cheaper. And most of the time they're liter bottles. Because in Russia, most people have smaller fridges. So you can't really fit the bigger bottles in the fridge. And the last refrigerated area here is some of the other vegetables. So things that they want to keep longer life, like all the leaf vegetables, mushrooms, and then there's also some pickled vegetables. Actually, there's quite a few choices in this store. This is a lot more choices than my local shop. This is why I wanted to come in and show this on a video. I must have come in right as their delivery must have arrived, because everywhere I'm walking there is products that are not put on the shelves yet. All of the children's baby foods, and then all of the hygiene products for kids. I like how they put all of the things like the kids' toothbrushes, toothpaste together with the kids section, so it's all in one area of the shop. All of the small packaged drinkable kids' food. For anyone who's a long-time viewer of the channel, perhaps as you're watching these supermarket videos, you've noticed that a lot of them, or all of them, don't have pharmacy items or some personal care items or things like headache tablets and things like that. And this particular store has its own separate pharmacy right here in the store. And all of the essential items and basic things. And this is very typical of any pharmacy you go to in Russia. It's just glass cases, and you let them know what you want. And then generally, the person behind the counter is a pharmacist, or person that can issue tablets and pills with a prescription or without. And this is what they look like. They have one of everything, generally on display, and everything that you can't see, you just let them know and they'll find it for you. This shop is rather large, and I wonder if there's a format that this is called that's different to all of the local ones where I live, because this has quite a lot more choices, or a bigger selection of products. All of the meats and chicken. They haven't done a good job at displaying it. You can't see what's on the front of them. It's really just stacked in there. Very typically, a lot of people will buy meats from butchers in Russia. And a lot of people don't necessarily like to come to supermarkets for meats, because they want to go to the butcher where they live and get the certain cut that they'd like. Here are all the eggs. And all the eggs in this store are not in a fridge. They're just on an open shelf. The cheapest box of eggs, 71 cents. Down the bottom there for the house eggs. That's for a box of 10. And we come around to the seafood. So all of the things like fish. And then there is some imitation caviar, imitation crab. I don't know why I ever say it's fish, because most of the things in there are not exactly fish. And there's actually a frozen section. Some frozen vegetables and the like. And then a very large extra section of mayonnaise. All the different Heinz flavors. I'm always on the lookout for the McDonald's version. There's a Heinz that they did in Russia. That's the same as the sauce on Big Macs. And I'm always looking for it, and I still can't find it. I think they must have got their delivery. There is stock stacked everywhere. I think I need to put the camera down and give them a hand for a little while. And there's actually some fish here and some frozen shrimps and prawns and all of the pasta. The one thing with the way this shop looks, now for me, Pyaterochkas normally look a little bit nicer than this shop, but I think this perhaps is a more busier location and they can't keep up with the stocking out of the shop, because you'll see some areas that are absolutely full, and then the next area it's ripped apart and missing. There's some more frozen items. This is all of the Russian dumplings or pilmeni in that fridge over there. And then also they've got a lot of bulk pallets of things like sugar and a lot of waters. Here's all the cooking items. So if you need some flour, kilo of flour for 68 cents. And then I was trying to find the price of sugar, but they don't have it on the display here. Plenty of bulk salt. You need a kilo of salt for 60 cents. They have it. Let's keep walking around. Where I first walked in the shop, it's almost split into two sides. And then they've got the registers just here. So there's the regular checkouts and then the self-checkouts. And then coming over to this side, lots of sweets and candy. This is my current favorite. These waffles, $1 a pack. They're my weakness right now. If you're from Russia, maybe it's the same item or something different. Lots of sweet treats. And they have a very large pay-by-weight candy section here. So you can get a bag, scoop in a handful of whatever you like, and you just pay by weight. Very simple way to do it. If you only want a few or a kilo, you can buy them however you wish. Raffaello, I think it's a very well-known brand. And all of the normal chocolate bars. So there's almost a whole corner of the shop here dedicated to treats, biscuits, and candy. And all of the dry biscuits. There's even some gingerbread as well. And then even all of the teas. So there's a very large selection. Now my wife pretty much has a cupboard just of all these different teas, because every time she'll go to a shop, she'll see a new flavor or something different. And for the sake of the low prices, you can have a nice supply of different choices of teas in Russia. All of the coffee. I actually find the coffee for my wife at a bulk supermarket because she drinks lots of coffee. We go to a bulk, almost like a wholesale supermarket, to buy the coffee that we like. There's a section here with ice creams. Now, even though it's cold outside, they're still popular. More treats and sweets. And there is an area here with some waters. The one thing that is missing in Russia is they don't have many energy-style water drinks like Gatorade and Powerade. They don't seem to exist in Russia. They've got lots of these energy drinks, but not the sports drinks. I think that's the right word. The shop keeps on going. And I'm going to say this again. This is a Russian typical supermarket. Pyaterochka is by a long way the most known brand of supermarkets in the entire Russian Federation. Now, perhaps this one isn't the most beautiful one, However, it's down to somewhere being practical, close to where you live, and they have what you want when you walk in. So you can come in and get anything you need and not have to go and shop somewhere else in another neighborhood. All of the pet food. Cats have so many choices. You've got so many brands and then so many flavors as well. It's really a lot. And then, interestingly, right by the ladies' personal items section, we walk around to all of the different cool drinks. Where we actually are here in Moscow region is it's very close to this factory. The Cool Cola factory is practically in the next suburb from where I'm standing, and I would absolutely love to go to that factory. If anybody can figure out how I can get a tour there, that will be beautiful, because I know the brand very well. I also have my new favorite drink right here, this mix drink. And then as we get further into the back of the store here, we get further away from the registers, and then you've got all of the personal items. Every normal Western brand that says they aren't in Russia are here somewhere. And then the toilet roll section. And then if you're really struggling, 10 cents, you've got the one that you really don't want to use. But if budget doesn't allow it, then you're limited to getting the 10-cent rolls. I think I'll walk around this way and show the alcohol as I go towards the exit of the store. There is lots of choices of juices, and then they've got mixed in here all of the cleaning items. And I pointed out in the last couple of videos, so I think I need to do it again, the Fairy dishwashing liquid. Now, they don't have the ticket here, but it's over here. So it's 130 rubles on special for 110 rubles in this store. They do have the large one. Actually, this is a very nice price for the big one. That's the one you should really buy. The bigger one. And then cleaning items. Then we come around in the very corner of the store. All of the choices of beer. Now, you have absolutely plenty of choices. And these are all single purchase cans of beer. So from about 60 cents to at $1.50, depending on the type you want. And actually the alcohol percentage can vary the price as well. And how convenient, they've got beer snacks right opposite the beer. Of course they would have that in Russia, all this dry fish and these crunchy snacks. I was kind of looking for where the Lays were in the store, and they're tucked away in the corner here. But plenty of choices. And we come around to the alcohol. So the actual aisle of alcohol, you can see how far away the staff member is from where we are here at the back corner of the shop. So a nice large selection of wines. Champagnes not so many, because probably they were purchased and emptied the shop out for New Year. And then, contrary to the belief of everybody that hasn't been to Russia, not everybody buys only vodka. However, they've got plenty of choices. I think Russian Standard probably is a well-known exported brand. The small bottle here for about $4. Actually, even their large one is $5. I think a lot of people know Stolichnya as well. Actually, there's a few different versions of it. $4. So the middle-sized bottles between $2 and $5. If you want something a bit larger, no more than $10. And then other spirits. So if you need rum, vodka, gin, they definitely have it. And the most important fridge, and it's not very full, is the grab-and-go caviar fridge. What's going on? Maybe New Year cleaned them out as well. And they've actually got the little casing that you put the caviar into. So you grab your vodka, you grab your caviar, and you head to the register. Yeah, this is very typical Russian supermarket. Now, I really wanted to come here as well because of the layout of the store, just the fact that it's so large and the amount of people coming and going. Now, I'm not really showing all the people that are in the shop, but there is plenty of people coming and going as I've walked around. So there's more than enough shoppers and more than enough people, even in the early afternoon like it is now. As I walk on out of Pyaterochka, I got myself a spinach snail, and that's what they're actually called. Now I'm hoping it's a spinach pastry, and I don't think there's any snail involved. So I'm a little bit hungry. I had to stop for something to eat and drink while I was here at the shop. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and this walk around of the most typical and most well-known supermarket in the entire Russian Federation. And I know I'm repeating it, but it truly is the most known shop. And regardless of how many people were in there or not, this shop is open 7 days a week. I'm in the shop for maybe 20 minutes or half an hour making the video. So it's impossible sometimes to show you just how many people go shopping in these stores, unless I stand there and do a time lapse of it. And they are busy shops, and the short few minutes I'm there doesn't really represent how many shoppers go to this chain of supermarkets in the entire country. 20,000 of them. I've got to repeat that again as well, because I can walk to 5 of these in my town within about 2 kilometers. So I've got more than enough of them where I live without coming to this one. How I was in the area, I thought I'd have to make a video while I'm here, because it was also a nice shop to show you. Now, the only thing I don't like today, because I've got to be always positive in every video, right, was the way the stock is everywhere and the fact there's not prices on things. I will say though, the ladies in the shop were absolutely amazing. I had a couple of interactions with one of the ladies, particularly when I was buying my snail. So she was so nice. And they worked so hard in these shops to keep them constantly stocked. And just the turnover of the amount of people doesn't really allow that. There'll never be really a beautiful Pyaterochka in Russia. I think it will be impossible because of how many people shop there. So if you like the video, instead of giving it a thumbs up, give it a snail up and post in the comments that you love or don't love snails. I think it'll be nice to read in the comments how many people write the word snail. I've got a drink in my bag as well. If you want to follow me on Telegram, my link will be right here. I post lots of stuff daily. And if you want to see another video, something completely different, of an older video on my channel, it's coming up right now. You can keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.